So what is the most affordable gas-powered mini bike on Amazon that is big enough for an adult to ride, but still small enough for a kid? So we have this 105cc gas-powered mini bike from Oryxearth. So what's cool about this bike is it comes in different colors or different trim packages. And then on Amazon, there's quite a few parts or upgrade parts for the engine. So after you get used to the bike, you can make it faster because you never can have enough speed. It always has to be faster. So I'm gonna go ahead and unbox this bike and we'll go over the options and then we'll test it out. That looks like it's very well packaged. So it looks like we have a bike that's pretty much 90% put together. You have the front wheel. Looks like a tool kit. We have the forks. Another bag of accessories. We'll have to open this up and see what we have in the bag here. Right on. So it looks like this bike comes with a headlight and the mounting brackets, charging cord, even comes with a phone holder. So that's kind of cool. Then it comes with a head cloth, so you can use this under your helmet. Front fender. So then in this bag, you have a tool kit, and your handlebar risers, your axle for the front wheel, and then the bolt to hold on the forks, and then your fender mount bolts. Then of course you have your owner's manual and your assembly instructions. So now I'm going to install the forks to the frame. So if you're going to use your own tools, it's a 15mm on the bottom nut and a 12mm on the top. Or you can use the tools that came with the bike. I'm gonna run the handlebars underneath here. And install the handlebar risers. So if you're going to use your own tools on the handlebars, it's 10mm on the top and a 13 on the bottom. Or you can use the tools in the kit. So on this part here, where the cables normally run under here, where you run the handlebars under and the cables run from under here, I usually just run them between here. You don't have to do this, but I like running them in here. They just look a little bit neater. Because you know, the more neat, the faster the bike. Install this fender. Then I use the bolts with the plastic washer. So now I will install the front wheel and tire setup. Get the axle and then a spacer on both sides of the wheel. So I have the V-tread facing forward. So I have one spacer on this side. And then one spacer on this side. So now I will install my headlight brackets. Then I have the headlight spacer on the bracket. And the screw that comes with the bracket. I'll take my headlight assembly and use the slides and slide it onto these brackets. Make sure these are turned down all the way first. Slide the light on there. So now that I got the light slid on there, then I tighten up these brackets here. Tighten up the slides. It's got a few different modes. All right, so that'll work. All right, so I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, I like the color on this bike. It's definitely unique. It's like they put clear coat over steel or metal, like they do on a rat rod. It's kind of interesting. So I'll throw some oil in here. 12 ounces of 1030. The bike came with a bottle, so you can fill this with oil and you can remove this plug here and you can drop a few drops of oil down into the clutch on the bushing. I'll go ahead and do it without the cover on there just to show where the oil goes. But normally you don't have to pull the cover off, you just pull this plug to lube up the clutch. Pull this chain guard off of here and throw some oil in the bushing right there. So there's a plug on here that you can oil the clutch with, but I just wanted to show where, I wanted to pull this off to show where the oil goes on the clutch. But anyway, normally you just drop oil down in this hole right here onto the edge of the clutch into that bushing. Then it has a plug you reinstall on there. There we go. Okay, so I have oil, gas, and the clutch lube, the bushing and the clutch. Oh, and I threw some chain lube on there. So now I'll see if the bike will fire up, and I'll take it out for a top speed run so we can get a baseline on this bike. So in case we do future mods, I know what speed I have to be. Let's see if she'll fire up. Oh, very cool. That actually takes off pretty quick. Okay, so we're pretty much topped out at, what, about 24? It actually picks up speed pretty quick, but then again, I'm kind of lightweight, but it's actually pretty good. Let's see. All right, let's see what it does up the hill. Oh, we're pretty close to the same up the hill. So it actually runs pretty good. But there is one thing I forgot to do. Let me run back and loosen up that throttle stop. So the bike did right around 24 miles an hour downhill and around 23 uphill with my weight, which is pretty good. I think this is a pretty good setup for a small kid, the way it's set up right now. So I'll see if I can get some more speed out of this. I'm gonna turn out the throttle stop screw. I don't recommend doing this. I mean, you're probably not supposed to do this, but let's just see what happens. You can see the throttle stop screw right there. It's stopping the throttle. So I'm gonna back this out a little bit and we'll see what happens. Oh yeah, there we go. That pulls it back a lot farther. Let's see what happens now. Let's go see if we can beat up on 24 miles an hour. 24.15. It actually picked up speed pretty quick. Almost 30 miles an hour right there. 29.68. That thing actually runs pretty good for just a stock bike. Let's see what it does uphill. So we're a little over 28 up the hill. So this bike gets to speed surprisingly quick. But then again, like I said, I'm kind of lightweight. So this bike already almost did 30 miles an hour, and it actually gets there pretty quick. Like I said, I'm pretty lightweight, so it would definitely run really good with a kid on here. So, okay, there's one more thing I'm gonna do, which you're not supposed to do, so I do not recommend this. Especially if you're not gonna do any internal engine mods, like upgrading the flywheel or removing the internal governor. So you're not supposed to do this. So I'm gonna zip tie the governor spring and we'll see what happens. Don't do it, don't do it. So there's a couple different springs on here. This one here is the throttle return spring, so you don't zip tie that one. So I put a zip tie in this bottom one. because that's the one that goes from the governor arm over to the throttle. So let's go see if we can beat up on, what, around 29 miles an hour? A little over 29? Oh man, it's a lot faster. So we did around 33 right there. So definitely a lot faster, but I wouldn't hold it there very long. Just to make sure you don't mess up nothing. Let's see what it does up the hill. About 28 going up the hill. So the bike got quite a bit faster using the zip tie trick. So with the stock bike straight out of the box, we did 24.15 top speed. Then I backed out the throttle screw and we did 29.68. So we gained what? A little over 4 miles per hour. Then I zip tied the governor spring and then we gained a little bit more speed, 32.97. So almost 33 miles an hour. What's cool about this frame is there are tons of mods or modifications you can do to this bike. I mean, tons of parts available for this frame. I mean, one good thing about it, it already has a disc brake, which is nice. So you already have the disc. So if you do want to upgrade to a hydraulic brake, it's easy to do. I've seen a few parts online for this engine, I mean, header pipes and carbs and stuff like that. So there's definitely more you can do to the stock engine, or you could do an engine swap. Unlimited wheels and tires for these frames and gas tanks. They have front suspension kits, street tires. I mean, there's pretty much anything you could think of for this style of frame. So definitely a cool bike. I mean, it's perfect the way it's set up right now if you just leave it stock for a small kid. But if you do want to modify it, there's plenty of options out there. So if you're interested in one of these bikes, be sure to use the link in the video description. So what should I do next? Should I try to get the maximum speed out of the stock engine, or should I do an engine swap?